You're listening to Common Sense and Beer, where we talk about the heavy-hitting topics with a beer in hand. I'm your host, Zach, and my other host here,
Kyle.
And today we have a special guest, and we'll let him introduce himself.
What's up, everybody? My name is Josue. I don't know how I made it here, but they picked me up on the side of the road, said, "Hey, we need your voice," and here I am.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it was actually a local Home Depot.
Yeah.
Actually, this time it was Menards by the taco truck.
That's funny.
Yeah, we got a twofer.
Yeah, right.
So what do you do for work, man?
So, on my career side, I'm a correction officer at a sheriff's office. And then on my side, I actually started a business.
Okay.
It's called Amigos Firearm Services and Custom. There, I do gun building, gun cleaning, gun restoring, laser engraving. I am an FFL, so I do gun transfers. Right now, I don't do the buying and selling guns. I don't want to keep an inventory just because I don't have the safe for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't want to be super liable. There, I mean, with the laser engraver, I do a lot of things. I've engraved guns, knives, mags, accordions, deer antlers.
Wow.
Nice.
A dude's arm.
Yeah.
That was
really branching out.
Yeah, that was crazy. Zippo lighters. I've done those like Etsy boards or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do a lot. If people are willing to give me an opportunity, I'm willing to try. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
For
Right.
sure.
I got a
for
fire
sure.
extinguisher next to me.
There you go. There you go. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that what we're going to mostly talk about today, although we have a tendency to branch off quite a bit, but one of the things that we're interested in having you on for was talking about basically incarceration in general, jail life. How I'm sure there's tons of questions that people ask you or have asked you in the past, but we know each other from work. I'm not a correctional officer, but I do some IT work around the jail, and so I see things.
You see a lot of things.
See something.
yeah, I
Just some
see.
things.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I mean, Kyle, did you have any questions or anything for
Well, I mean,
Josue here?
let's just open it with what's your craziest story off the top of your
Oh,
head.
off the rip. Boom, I like
right
it.
off the rip. Yeah, I know.
Craziest story.
Thinking
Just-
of like
He's
which
being
one to talk
flooded.
Right?
So it depends what you really want to talk about, right?
Sure.
So let's start off with my first experience, right? And that's what really got me into mental health because like that's one of the biggest things like that I'm kind of into.
Okay.
So I started off on third shift, and I think this is like my first weekend, right? I'm going around with my trainee, doing whatever, learning, and then all of a sudden over the radio we hear so and so is coming in with an uncooperative party, and we call it a welcoming party. So they're requesting a welcoming party. All right, so I look over at my fucking trainee. I was like, "The fuck, we having a party?" He's like, "No, there's an uncooperative guy, and we just go out there just to help out the officer or whatever, have extra bodies just in case if anything were to happen." Cool. So they come in, we go out there, and so like in my head, like somebody to be uncooperative and like being super pissed off, I thought this guy was gonna be like 6'3", 300 pounds, ripped and shit. I was just like, fuck, what am I gonna do if we get to fighting him?
Right.
They open the door, and I kid you not, it's like if you were to Google image what a nerd looks like this guy looked like a straight up nerd. Poor guy was like 5'8" and like maybe like 140 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, oh, this guy's uncooperative?
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. And he was bashing his head on the fucking glass and everything, so he's bloody all over.
Oh, wow.
And anytime we would talk to him, super respectful. But anytime we weren't talking to him directly, he was just like, I hate life and this and that, bashing his head, just ready to kill himself. Obviously, he was drunk. We get him out the car, pat him down and everything, because he continued to hit himself and stuff like that. Now he's a liability. So
Right.
we put him in the padded cell, and I'm like, okay, well now he can't hurt himself. He still continued hurting himself. Obviously, he had open wounds, so there was blood everywhere. So like my supervisor was like, no, we got to contain this guy. We're gonna put him in the restraint chair, and it was quite an experience because this whole time while we're putting this man in a restraint chair, he's super cooperative with us. You know what I mean? Like he'll, cuss out the world and everything, and he was super pissed. But as soon as we like asked him to like do something for us or give him a command, he was, yes, sir, no problem, sir.
Wow.
Sat down and everything. It went super smooth. But throughout the whole time, right, like from the beginning to end, this guy was talking about how he had nobody in life, right? He was a super successful man. He just has lost his grandparents not too long ago. His grandparents were the only people that loved him in life because his parents left him at a really early age. And then because he had money, he got this girlfriend, and the fucking bitch left him and took all the fucking money. Like,
Oh man.
I felt bad for the guy because he had nothing else in life. And like, it was sad. To me, it was like really, really
Yeah.
sad. Because like this guy really wanted to kill himself and like didn't look forward to anything in life anymore because like he didn't have nothing else.
Right.
So I was like, fuck, that like must really suck. So like after that, like that really pushed me into like what mental health was. I started asking a lot of questions about it. Luckily enough, where I work, they were fortunate enough to send me to a couple trainings to help me understand that a little bit more, and it was amazing. Like you learn a lot. I didn't really think that psychology was going to be like my go-to, where I'm really interested. Like then you get to the point where it's like you start learning about how people think and what they think and why they think and what happened that makes them think the way they do.
Yeah.
So you you start looking into psychology and shit, and you go one alley and you take a left and then you're a right and then you're going down another alley, and then you start realizing that a lot of people that have mental health issues, it stems from somewhere, whether it be genetics, whether it be a traumatic incident that they may or may not remember, but somehow one way or another it's there.
Right.
It's just fucking nuts how the fucking brain works. And
Yeah. No, psychology is cool.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's like in everything.
yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the things that's often overlooked, and it's actually cool to hear you talk about it like that. You're obviously passionate about it, but it's something that I think is often overlooked when you talk about, working at the jail. People always ask you questions. Oh, what are those jailbirds doing now? Not necessarily saying that everyone's got to be, super, careful about what they think, because at the end of the day, there are some
Oh hell yeah.
garbage, there's, but at the same time, I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about is people just have mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
And they end up in jail because they've either harmed themselves or harmed someone else,
A lot of those people used to be somewhere. They used to be in asylums or something, and now they're in the jails.
Not just that, but like just because they're in the jail doesn't mean that their life ended.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't realize that, we get to see the worst part of somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like let's say somebody's super successful, they're having everything great, and then all of a sudden they like flip a switch, and all of a sudden they're having a mental breakdown, and here we are like dealing with them and shit like that. We will lead them to the right direction or something, and once they get out, they get help and everything, and then 2 months later you fucking see them at Walmart or something, they're super successful again, and it's like, oh, well then, we're not going to talk about how you just ripped your fucking underwear and you were wiping shit all over the window. But you know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
Yo, that was wild. One of the first stories that I ever heard about was a woman had taken her dirty pad and was throwing it at officers, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh my god, and like it's just wild to me. But it's funny that you say that, because shortly after I started there, I was about 3 months in or so, and I knew I remembered seeing this dude in jail. He got released, and then I see him on the outside, and he comes up to me, and he looked like almost like a totally different person, clean shaved, and you know, really nicely dressed, you know, and I'm like,
Did you have
hey,
to?
how's it going?
Did you have to shit on them? Like, oh yeah, that's you, dude.
Nope. But yeah, it was wild. I mean, not everyone, you know, I think the other thing that's kind of overlooked in jails too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you see a lot of the same people in and out all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of names that you see come across. I see a lot of the same names come across my desk once every, 2-3 months or so. So they'll get out after a month, and then they'll come back in after a couple months, and then kind of back and forth.
It's difficult, and it's just like what I tell people. It's like almost like a restaurant, right? Because we're definitely serving a service, right? We're definitely there to serve a service, and you have people that go there once in a while, right? Maybe they only show up once, and that's it. Great, but then you got these frequent flyers, and that's what put me to ask questions like why do they come back and stuff like that.
Right.
You have different types of people that are frequent flyers. You have your homeless guys that wait till summertime, springtime they're out, and as soon as it starts getting cold or they don't have nothing to eat, they commit something petty to come in.
Yeah.
You got people that have been incarcerated most of their life that when they get out, they don't have that structure. They don't have that correction, or they don't have that for somebody to tell them what to do. So they get lost. So for them to feel normal again, they do something stupid to come back.
Right.
You have those people that are just stuck in the system. Like when I learned about probation, dude, it's a fucking hellhole for a lot of people, because you commit something. Let's say you get 2 years of probation. In the state of Wisconsin, right, probation, how it works is like if you're out and about, anybody can call in and say, hey, I seen so and so doing something they're not supposed to do. Fucking agent doesn't look into it right away. They're like, okay, we're gonna need them, PO hold. So now they have a warrant for their arrest. Let's say they're driving or something, cop sees them, hey, you got a fucking warrant, we got to take you in. And they'll sit there for like days, weeks, or whatever, trying to figure out what's going on. And their agent just fucking leaves them in there. And, people lose I've seen people lose their homes, their jobs, the opportunity to see their kids, their families over dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like anybody can say fucking, oh, I seen dude fart sideways. Oh, what? We need to investigate that. Okay, well, we're fucking taking him in. And
That's crazy.
It's
I didn't realize
super
that.
crazy. And then what's even worse, like let's say somebody gets called in for whatever, they find them guilty, and now their 2-year bid could turn into like another 7-year bid. Like they'll add time to it.
Oh.
There's been people that I've talked to that have committed something and gotten 2 years of probation, and somehow they're back in the jail, and somehow this probation has been extended for like 15 years.
What?
Over time of how much time they've been adding and stuff like that. Like it's fucking nuts.
Wow.
It's
That's
really
crazy,
crazy and
Yeah.
It's kind of just like a trap.
it is.
It's just we'll get you eventually. You like here 2 years, and how many people take that and say, all right, yeah, 2 years probation. All right, cool. I don't got to go to jail or nothing. You're just
Correct.
gonna, they don't think about
Correct.
this because like I didn't, a lot of people don't. They just, oh well, that I'm not going to jail. I just got to check in every so often. I'm fine. I follow the rules. You follow the rules until they find something that
Psych,
they change
bitch,
them.
you thought.
Right?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's
Yeah.
anytime they ask me, like they'll fucking ask me like, oh, you think I should take probation? And I was like, look, man, I'm not a fucking lawyer or nothing or whatever, and I can't give you legal advice because they can come back to me and you can sue me.
Right.
But in reality, don't fucking take the probation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it fucking
Fight it.
sucks, dude.
Fight it if you can, right?
And like for some people, it goes really well. You know what I mean? For some people, it works really well. They get a decent agent that helps them out through the whole process, and I've seen people succeed from it. You know what I mean? Like it really helped them, and they met the right requirements, they met the right people, and it's helped them, and it's been magic for them.
Yeah.
Just some
but
people.
I did hear you say though, it take the right agent.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Well, when I started the jail, when I started working at the jail, I had this preconceived notion of what it would be like. I had the preconceived notion of the tatted up dude that's, all muscle up top, skinny chicken legs, and I had the vision of these dudes sitting in the window staring at me, just, and I actually quickly realized that, one, you see all kinds of people in jail.
Definitely.
I mean, it's not just one demographic. There's several people that I can think of just in my head right now that you'd never really think that they were in and out of jail. They just look like normal people, but they're in there until they're awaiting their prison sentence or whatever,
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, man, I guess it was just so different, but at the same time, one of the things too.
This is what you're expecting, right?
He pulled up a picture of
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No.
No,
That's
that
Tracy
is not.
Morgan.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
in
right.
Longest
Yeah,
Yard.
my bad.
It was wild to see, the difference between what I thought it was like, and I mean, luckily for me, they're always happy to see me because I'm usually giving them
True.
something. So I usually don't get crapped on or hated on much at all. In fact, they flood the door whenever
Nah,
I'm
you're
in
probably
there.
getting your butt
But
kissed, dude.
No,
They're
well,
going there like,
kinda.
I gotta
kinda.
make sure the IT guy likes me
Well,
so
I
he
just-
fixes my shit.
Actually, yeah. I just had there was a guy tonight right before I left. Right before I left work, had a guy come out and was just totally disrespectful to the CO, right? But he saw me standing there. He's like, "Hey, man, you got a tablet for me yet?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
CO's just like, "No, get back in there."
Right? Get no damn tablet.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, that's something actually. Since you brought up the fact that they get tablets, like that was new. When I found that out, I feel like that's
Yeah.
a new policy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the jails. Like, is that something? Do you feel like they almost have too much, or do you feel like that helps them having that access?
I'll let you tackle that one
Yeah.
before I do.
So
Okay.
it benefits. I mean, it has its ups and downs, right?
Okay.
It has its good things and bad things. Where the tablets that they have access to certain things, right? Like
Right
the
there.
law
Right
library.
there, Joey. That's the one.
This one?
Yep, exactly that one. They have access to go to the law library. They have access to go look into their cases and stuff like that.
All right.
There's programs on there that they can go on there and learn certain things. They can read up on things. There's ebooks on there that they can buy, so they can just read them and do it off of there. They can watch movies and listen to music and stuff like that. Which one thing is cool because it keeps their mind occupied.
Right.
Just because they created a crime and stuff like that, you shouldn't always have to be suffering and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
get
as a human, you deserve some things. But the fact that, they don't realize that this is it's not a necessity, but it's more of a like reward. And like these people like make it seem like it's a fucking requirement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nah,
That's where I
motherfucker,
come
like,
in.
yeah, like no, this is you don't
Yeah.
get this just because whatever.
Right.
And then I've seen the tablets like misused like a lot, right?
Okay.
Well, where they let's say if there's like an abundance of them, they like to be criminals and fucking bust them, take the battery and fucking use it as a fucking lighting source.
Well, they'll hoard them.
Yeah,
they'll hoard them and then rent them out for like, give me your tray if you want that tablet. Give me your, or
Yeah.
give me your commissary that you just spent $50 on for that bag of chips
Show me
because
that.
everything's so overpriced.
Show me that bussy.
Dude, hey, talking about overpriced, talk about the Zim pouches.
Oh, what are they? What are they? Are they like $15 a?
So it's 18 bucks for a tin of pouches, right? Of like 15
man.
pouches. At the store, you can buy them for $3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So with guys that don't consume it, right? Like they'll buy 3 tins as the
Yeah.
limit. They'll wait a couple days. one Zyn pouch, right, will go from anywhere from $5 to $20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the new cigarettes.
Yeah. No, that's it.
No,
Well, yeah.
it's more than cigarettes.
Yeah,
Those
it's
motherfuckers are gold in there
Yeah.
because they get them once a week, so they'll fucking consume them like fast as fuck.
Yeah.
And by the 4th, 5th day, they're fucking dry and fucking dude. Like this shit is like the new crack. It really is.
Yeah.
Because
man.
these motherfuckers scratch
Yeah.
their heads and scratch their bellies and trying to figure out how to
yeah.
get some. And then what's even worse is they'll chew them. Once they're done with them, they won't throw them away. They'll put them on the lid. So that when they're all the way done, they'll pop 2 of those used up ones, put them in their mouth, and call them re-chews. So they'll fucking chew on those until they really can't. And I've seen people buy those shits too.
No.
Yes,
No.
dude. Yes.
That don't surprise me at all.
Dude,
man.
when I first found that out, I'm like, you fucking kidding me? But it's like nicotine is a new motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm really in the wrong business.
Right?
It's wild.
I really am.
We all are.
Do you think using it as a suppository would be better?
Man.
It'd get into the nicotine would be getting into the bloodstream faster.
I wonder how much.
Yeah, I feel like you should tell them that.
No, you can't.
Go back there and be like, "Yo."
No, I'm sure they've already tried
Oh,
it.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm sure they've
Yeah, well,
already tried
imagine
it.
like you put it right on the tip and then you like thrust really hard.
What?
You're helping a friend out. You're helping a friend.
Oh, an applicating process.
You know what?
boy.
I just really hope I'm not doing a security check and I see that shit firsthand because like, that would traumatize me for real. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh man, I'm just helping him out. It's gonna, you know what I mean? I wanted that quick buzz. I'm like,
He's my
you
boy.
two,
Yeah, man,
you two, logging down, man. We're gonna have a talk.
He's trying to make the most out of this reach I just bought.
Yeah,
Dude,
man. Well, the tablets. I will say so. When I interviewed for this job, they were telling me, most of it I'd be taking care of the phone system and all of that for inmates, and then they said, oh, and we offer tablets at the facility, and so I'm like, tablets, and that is by far when I tell people what I do, they get tablets, and.
I think that was me too. I
Yeah.
was
Well,
like,
yeah. Well, I will
I
say,
had no idea.
I will say that was my initial thought too when they talked about tablets. But
Everybody's,
honestly, yeah, well,
everybody's.
yeah, honestly, everybody, when it was kind of my initial thought too. But now that I've seen it, I've seen actually a lot of people benefit from it. One thing that people don't understand either is that they actually have to pay for like movies and music and things like that. And
Not just that,
They-
they have to pay to read their own mail.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So we provide. Or not we. I should say a company that our company works with scans the mail. One of the reasons for that is so that the way there's not so much contraband coming into the jail with physical mail. And so
You want me to talk about what stemmed it?
what stemmed that?
Okay, so I'm telling you, man, if crackheads weren't crackheads and they actually use their brain for something, they'd be fucking successful.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, obviously science is crazy and everything. So are you guys familiar with synthetic cannabinoids like K2 or
Yeah.
all that
Spice
shit?
and-
Spice, Tunchi, whatever
Yep.
they fucking call them. So now they came out with a liquid form of it.
Oh, good.
You could spray it on anything, burn it, and you're fucking ripped.
Wow.
But not just like, you don't need a big amount. You just need like a tiny bit of it. So what a lot of these people were doing is they were spraying pictures, pictures that their kids would draw, anything, legal paperwork and stuff like that. And then they were sending it through the mail. So as soon as they would get it, they'd fucking break a tablet or whatever. Yeah, I'll take another one of these. Pretty good. And they would fucking spark off a little bit and get a group of people high.
Yeah.
And that
Just
shit-
hotbox the jail cell.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And that shit was scary. There was this one time where we were coming in to do security checks in the unit, and as soon as I like look up, like we're in there about ready to go in, I can see 3 guys in a cell smoking. So I was like, oh shit, we about to bust them, you know, because we were at that time we were heavily looking for this shit, trying to look for the source because it's really transparent. Like you can't see it. Like you really have to like smell it. There's a certain faint smell to it, and also it's fucking weird. But you can tell, but you can't tell if you're not looking for the right thing.
Sure.
Right. So I remember this day. We were like, oh shit, we're about to bust them. We're finally gonna figure out what it is, and so we called for more officers down there. And we had like maybe like 6 guys ready to, just run in there and see what's up. So we get in there. There's 2 guys that are bolt out immediately. And then there's a 3rd guy in there. But this guy's just no regular guy, right? He was a little slower, right? Let's put it that way. But he was like 6'5", 300 pounds, built.
Oh.
When I say built, like this motherfucker's muscles popped out of everywhere. His fucking earlobes were ripped.
So are you saying
This is
like
like Green Mile.
Green Mile build? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
George Floyd?
Yes, that
Well,
fucking
I mean,
guy.
like, this no one's gonna step on this man's neck.
Dude,
Yeah.
that guy was fucking ripped.
You would fall, dude.
And then, so he was getting high with these guys, and I have really good rapport with this guy, or had. I don't know where the fuck he is now.
Right.
But as soon as those 2 guys go out, they instantly start fighting officers. So I'm in the cell with this guy, and I'm like, you can't go in there. He's like, no, I gotta go help my friends. I was like, no, you're not. You're gonna fucking stay here, dude. Like, I don't want you getting in trouble. I want you to get out and everything. So I'm like trying to like negotiate with this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I'm like 6 foot. You know what I mean? I'm just like looking up at the guy, and I'm 350 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm chunky, but I can hold my own. But this guy, dude, I just, you know what? I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't know if you guys heard of what retard strength is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Yep.
shit is a real thing. If you don't believe it,
Yep.
it's because you have not experienced it.
Yep.
Okay? Let me tell you, this guy, he tries going past me, and I like push him back, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight you. In reality, in my head, I was like, dude, I don't want him to fight me. You know what I mean? Because I knew I was going to lose that fight. Yeah. Right. So this guy picks me up off the fucking floor, does a whole 180, puts me down, and fucking tries walking towards the officers. I'm like, flabbergasted. That's the word I'm going to use because that's what I felt like.
Uppies?
Yeah, I was just like, this guy just picked me up.
Yeah.
Like nobody has done that in like 20 years.
Well, I'm a bigger dude too. I'd be like, I haven't been picked up like this since I was
Just in shock. Like,
yeah,
5 years
like what
old.
the fuck? So I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna go fight those guys. So I pick him up, I grab him from behind, bear hug him, pick him up, and we do a whole 180. It turned into a fucking dance because him and I were just literally taking turns. And then it got to the point where I was just like, I couldn't pick him up anymore because he was just so fucking heavy that I literally held on to the back of him. And he's just like, just walking through, and I felt like a little kid, with my fucking legs down. He's just pushing me through, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like it's over. If this guy picks me up and throws me off the railing.
No, Daddy, don't go to work, please.
Yeah.
Stay home.
And it was on the second tier to even fucking make it worse. Shit. So I'm just like, man, if this guy picks somebody up, like they're fucking flying off this fucking tier. So another guy comes up and he fucking grabs a leg, and I grab the other leg, and I'm like, you're not going nowhere. This motherfucker outpowered us, both
Wild.
of us. The only way that we were able to put him down was a taller guy, skinnier guy, came up and knee striked him right in the chest and fucking put him down to the ground.
Damn.
And then another guy, he was a newer guy. He pulled out his OC. A lot of people call it pepper spray or whatever you want to call it. But this shit, and he literally did the fucking term spray and pray because he literally fucking sprayed everybody.
No.
But so the first time he sprayed the 2 guys, he sprayed a couple officers on their fucking backs and everything. So like we're all burnt up, from this fucking spray. We're fighting these guys, and then there's one poor guy that he fucking ran from the other side of the jail to come help us. Goes up the stairs, and as soon as he hits that fucking right to jump into to help somebody, The guy sprays a second time and gets him straight in the eyes.
Oh no!
Straight in the fucking eyes, dude.
Oh man!
So, dude, we were all fighting for our fucking lives.
Yeah, at that point, if I'm the guy who's trying to help, I'm popping CS gas and be like, "Nah, fuck you guys." Like, everyone's gonna deal with it even more now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was
man.
like. That's what it was like. Like the whole section was just clouded up with OC. Where everybody's got boogers out, fucking saliva out. Like we just look like fucking dogs, dude. Just like fucking drooling and fucking boogers out. We couldn't fucking see. We were trying to handcuff people, and it was just a bad day.
Yeah, yeah.
But after that, you know, we did a couple raids and we figured out what it was.
Yeah.
And then that's why they started scanning the mail.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's. I
yeah,
mean,
dude, it
and
was
wild.
it's common enough too that there's several facilities around the U.S. that use this service.
yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, if there's any possibility of contraband coming into the jail, you know, it makes sense. Okay, we're going to scan it. But the thing, and I don't know, maybe they could change it. I know I can't from my position, but
Yes, you can if you believe it.
yeah,
Anything is possible.
yeah. But what they do, so they're charged for there's two sides of the tablet, right? There's one side they can click and everything's free. So there's no games or anything. There's like the law library and all that. That's all free.
Commissary.
Yeah. But then on the other side of the tablet, if you click on, you know, the second side, it's a paid side, and you don't just pay for a movie like, you know, you paid $1 for a movie. You pay 5 cents every minute you are on that end of the tablet.
So you're screwed if you want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You want to watch Lord of the Rings? That's going to be
Right.
what, $7, $8, $8? Yeah, somewhere around
like
there.
fucking 15.
15, maybe that's
Those are like
more
3
accurate.
hour long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But
that's wild.
you know what's wild though is they will pay it.
Yeah.
They
Well, I
will
mean-
pay it. I mean, it's a source of entertainment for them, right? So I
Right.
get it, and that's the only reason I have a job is because they get money with that. But yeah, you know, so realistically, when people out there think, oh, they've got tablets, well, they're paying for it, and quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just it's not like it's expected for them to have one for those things. That's the immediate reaction people have.
Right.
Um,
One
but-
of the programs too I know they got is the work release, or at least had. Is that something they still do?
I don't think they do it
Work
still?
release. So we call here in Wisconsin, it's called Huber. In the county that I work for, after COVID, that shit was gone. It
Oh,
disappeared.
really?
Yeah, that's what I
it
thought.
It's
disappeared.
gone. Oh, okay.
They thought it was gonna come back, but the county's making just as much, or I think a little bit more money, doing bracelets on the diversion program, where they get on the bracelet, they can go to work or whatever, and they're being tracked all the time, and they have to pay. I think it's like $189 a week, not a
Wow.
month, a week.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
wild.
it's like 189 or like 139, something like that. I'm dyslexic
Yeah.
sometimes, so.
I get you. I'm like that too.
But
Yeah.
it's still a lot though. Like if you think about it, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't afford that.
But
But-
that's
Yeah.
just a way they can do it to keep themselves out of.
Out of jail,
jail.
and working and
Yeah.
maintaining whatever they got to do.
I guess you know.
Yeah, it's one way to get some money.
I mean,
out of
obviously,
it,
the best
suppose.
way is just to avoid jail altogether.
Yeah.
But, like if you're in, I mean, I'd want to be out as much as possible.
Yeah,
But
If I
that's the thing though. People don't realize that like everybody can go to jail.
Yeah.
People don't really think about it, but there's so many laws out there that you could break without knowing, you know, and end up in jail. Like for example, people don't think about it, but in the state of Wisconsin, we don't have a self-defense law, right? So let's say you wake up at 3 a.m, some guy shows up, kicks in your door. You have every right to shoot this guy because your baby girl is sleeping in the fucking room that
Right.
he was just trying to go into. You fucking shoot him. You're not getting let off the hook, right? They have to investigate you. So guess where you're going?
Going
To
to jail?
fucking jail.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anybody can be in jail.
Yeah.
You know, this is the fucking drinking state in Wisconsin, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
you have a little bit too many with your homies at the bar, you're fucking driving.
Yeah. Going to
Right.
jail.
And it's unfortunate for a lot of people, man, because people don't realize that like anybody can go to jail,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's why I don't see as like, you know, is everybody who's in jail is a bad person. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's good people in there. There's people with big hearts that just fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost have to have that mindset as a CO. I know there may have been or still are some COs out there that don't have that mindset, but I think
Correct.
you know, I think that a CO has to have some sort of mindset like that just to get through their day, because otherwise it just kind of seems like a never-ending loop. You
Correct.
know, and so I mean I've always liked interacting with people for the most part, regardless of what their background is, whatever.
Yeah.
I genuinely like, and I know you're the same way, Kyle, but interacting with people, I like doing that. But me personally, being a CEO, I don't know if I have the patience to do it. I mean,
Man,
many
listen.
times I don't know if I have the patience to deal with my own kids, let alone someone else's kids or their adults.
Dude, like
Right.
as a training officer, right? You know, I get these new people and whatever, and we have to train them as best as we can to prepare them for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, couple of things that I tell them, it's like, we're not the judge. It's not our job to judge anybody. We're here to babysit, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, our job is to is the safety and security of the jail, safety and security of anybody in the jail, our coworkers, and anybody that comes in and does whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if you sat there and got pissed off at whoever because they did whatever, like, dude, your life is never going to be okay.
Mm.
You're going to be pissed
You're
off
gonna be
at so
pissed
many
off
people.
all
You
the
know how many
time.
fucking pedophiles we got in there?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole other thing. But it's like, they did what they did. You want to sit there and get pissed off? Go ahead. But your life is going to be fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
They're paying for it now because I mean they're gonna be going because they're at that someone doing something like that, they're just sitting there to wait. They're waiting to go to prison.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Not just that, but
Not
like,
necessarily pedophilia. I mean, they get out. Many people get out like 6 months, a
yeah,
year.
but now their
you know, just-
information's on the internet where anybody can
that's-
find.
Mhm.
That's true, but at the same time, though, how many people that are in Beloit that yet no one is
yeah, realistically, I
doing
mean,
anything about?
it probably
Dude, can you
depends on the sentencing, and,
Especially
you
when
know.
they're living right next to schools right now,
Yeah,
too.
you know what
which
I've
is-
like always thought about, and it's a crazy thought. Sorry to get out of tangent, but
No. Good.
how many people kill each other over fucking money and drugs and shit like that? And there's people that are like talking about how they want to kill and this and that. Why hasn't there been a fucking vigilante group that goes out and kills pedophiles?
Yeah.
You want to start one?
I can't. I need the money. I'm kind of broke.
I was gonna say, take a look around right now.
I honestly just think it's that we're in an era of weak men, and I think if we were not in an era of weak men and the information going on with all that going on right now, with how we can just find all these people, and I mean, the only reason people care about what's going on in the Middle East or Europe or Ukraine and Russia, anybody, like the only reason people care is because they can see it nonstop on the internet.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the only reason anyone cares about this stuff. So the fact that we can find these pedophiles now so easily, and the fact that there's so many of them, and they're trying, NAMBLA still exists, the National, some Association of Man Boy Love or something.
Wait, say that again? What?
NAMBLA. I don't know. Look it up.
Man, blah.
No, it's NAM, NAM. I think NAMBLA, NAMBLA. I think it's spelled how it's.
You want to hear something crazy I learned actually?
North
studying
American
psychology?
Man Boy Love Association.
And they go around. That's
Sorry, you're saying?
Sorry. That's
No,
a
go
real-
ahead. You already got it up.
No, that's a real organization. Like, and
Well,
they're
what
do they
still
do?
around today. It's the North American Man Boy Love Association.
So like, what is their thing, or what do they
It
do?
works to abolish age of consent laws criminalizing adult sexual involvement with criminalizing adult sex. It works to abolish the age of consent laws, which would criminalize adults' sexual involvement with minors, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contact with minors that did not involve what it considers coercion.
You know who I think started that shit? Probably all these lawyers and attorneys and senators and important people that are into kids that
says
I
founders.
know that if they get fucking found,
Yeah.
they're gonna lose their shit.
Well, yeah, oh my god, this
Father,
is wild, dude.
the
Look at
founder is David Thorstad.
it says the founder name, their focus. Hold on. Oh, he died?
Good.
Hell yeah, brother.
Good.
What a
Looks
what
like
a,
we got our first one. So the focus, pedophile
Wait,
and pederasty activism.
What?
Pederasty is a sexual relationship between an adult man and a boy. It was socially acknowledged practice in ancient Greece and Rome and elsewhere in the world, such as pre-Japan.
Huh.
I mean, it was a very common, like,
All right.
touching boys back in the day, like ancient Greece, Rome times, common practice. Like, honestly, like, the Greece coined the term of, like, touching the boys and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, they're messed up, man. But like
That's fucked up.
that's a thing. Like, and this is on Wikipedia. Like, it's just normal. And the fact that they normalize, MAP, minor
attracted persons.
and they're trying to normalize
Dude, don't get me started with that shit.
Dude.
So this is why people don't realize, right? Like the new LGBTQ flag, right? The plus, this is what they're adding. This is what they have added.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people that, are gay, lesbian, transgender, they were really furious about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, they fucking commonalized it. And now a lot of people, wear that flag so prideful. And it's like, you guys don't get what you guys are fucking standing up for.
Yeah, well,
Like I remember when I was my wife and I were looking for a school for my daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
We went to this one private school. The first thing you see walking into this fucking school is a big ass LGBTQ plus flag flying in the room. Instead of an American flag or whatever, this thing I was like, yeah, it's not for us because I don't have nothing against gay people,
right?
Transgenders, you know what I mean? If you like pussy or you like dick, whatever, you do you.
Yeah.
But when you start liking shit like this,
well, we've
Not
talked
for me.
about this. We've talked about this several times on.
Look at this. This is on their NAMBLA website. Hold on. Read this, Sag.
Christopher is our resident cartoonist, but sadly not resident where we would like him to be. He's locked up in one of America's many gulags where it manages to produce some terrific cartoons.
Terrific.
Terrific cartoons, which we are pleased to make available to our readers.
So I clicked on the humor page. So social commentary through cartoons by Chris, published 2020, updated a couple of months ago. But yeah, this is their humor page of stuff.
What the fuck?
Oh my!
This is fucking awesome. Oh, the midnight puzzle, the kick butt kid. He's got puzzle pieces. He's getting manhandled. You know, like how you take your woman
by a
right?
ghost. Like,
you know how you take your woman.
My Lord.
You take your woman. You bend her over the bed, and she like grips the fucking the pillowcase. That's what this boy is currently doing.
dude, this is
What is it? He's sucking on his toes.
Oh my!
my God, what is this?
Our hero, 10-year-old Rex Little, has met the unfortunate ire of a watery hydro beast in his bathtub.
Oh, dude, this is just
Okay, so he gets his toes sucked on, right, in the bathtub. He jumps out. He's by the toilet now, all freaked out. He's butt-ass naked. Rex is now concerned. Rex is the boy, I believe. The Hydro Beast, the terrifying Hydro Beast, begins its watery assault as Rex finds his resolve. Sloosh, fight back, eat. What do you mean eat? Eat, feed, he says.
what the fuck, dude?
Wait, he's now standing up, the boy that is, and he says, wow, I did it. I kicked butt. Taking showers from now on, Mom, by himself, I guess. So I kicked him. It looks like he sprayed a fire hose all over the bathroom. That the mom is talking to him while he's in bed now. So he says, now I kicked him a big roundhouse and he collapsed into a puddle. The next frame, the mom is weirdly close to the child. This is my baby boy is growing up. Does it bother you when I call you my baby boy? ? No, Mom. I like it. Rexy, next Saturday, I'll be gone overnight. Work is sending me to a hotel in Santa Barbara. I'd have you stay the night with Grandma, but she's on a cruise. Mr. Lin offered to take you if you'd like. Mr. Lin? Question mark. Mr. Lin equals Rex's equal Taekwondo instructor. Okay. Is that okay with you, Rexy? Mr. Lin, Trevor's dad. Trevor, 13-year-old boy, Rex hero, and current ID fix, whatever that is. American Sign Language for yes. Heck yes. Will Trevor be there? I suppose. Rexy, I know that Trevor's totally blah, blah, blah. Carry on. Next installment every couple of weeks.
Just ridiculous, dude.
Hey,
Dude,
look
this
at
is
look at
fucking
go down.
gross.
What do you
dude.
want?
Go down. Far
Yeah.
right crazy. So, you know what? This right here would make me far right. It's like, oh, so they oppose the far right. I'm gonna be a neo-Nazi now to oppose pedophilia. Like,
Yeah, that's
they-
well, that's what they're making it, dude. See,
dude, this is
what
fucking wild.
this is what I'm talking about. Look, all right. So this whole no one can be anywhere in the middle on the political spectrum anymore, because people like this make you think that if you disagree with this, you're a Nazi.
If you disagree with them on anything, you're a white
Or-
supremacist or
or
a Nazi. Or,
people-
Yeah, if you're white, not brown though.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise,
until
no,
it's
that's
coming.
not even true, bro.
No, black
You
males.
know what? That's true.
Black males are the what is it? Or black straight males are the white supremacists or something of black people or
Yeah.
like that's what they
Dude, it's
they're after everybody that's straight and
It's
not
wild.
part of this.
It's wild. See, this
So.
is the product. This is the product of people not wanting to talk about this stuff, because these are the only opinions that
God.
ever get heard.
Yeah.
Are these crazy, outlandish ones, you know?
Well,
And
this is like the main. This is
This
the
is-
problem. Is it's in the institutions. It's in the universities. This is like high. This is
Yeah.
This stuff's considered higher learning.
well, the more and more that they get into this LGBT, going back to your point, we've said it many times, and I would encourage you to go back on. I'd encourage you to go back and listen to a couple of our episodes, but we've said it many times. There's no way when you start doing the LGB. First of all, when it started, it was just LGB, right? Mm-hmm. And then it started LGBT, LGBTQ, LGBT, blah 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 blah. And there's no way that you can keep adding things without adding a quote unquote minor attracted person. And we saw it from the beginning of this, you know. Now, like I said, or like you said, I don't care what you do in the privacy of your home. I may not agree with it. I may have even a religious stance against it, right? At the same time, though,
Live and let
you're
live.
gonna do what you're gonna do. It's not gonna stop me from living my life. So whatever, you know, I can't force my beliefs on you. Don't force yours on me.
Correct.
That's the thing. And so, I mean, well, we could get on a whole tangent
Yeah,
about
tell that to the
LGBT.
Germans.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
this is right back in their camp. This is the same.
well.
shit.
I mean, this is kind of
It's the same shit.
we're
dude.
starting
it's
to
just
see
a
it. If you
rainbow
don't-
flag instead of a swastika.
yeah. If you don't, if you don't agree,
Dude, I've seen that shit, and I was like,
it's wild.
wow. And what's
When you put
crazy
the
is,
four trans or the trans flags, right? When you
Yeah.
put the four up and they make the swastika. Have you seen that?
no, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay.
But it's like,
I know the ones that turned into Ohio, but
what?
nothing. It's a stupid meme. Sorry, but
No, but dude, that shit is fucking wild to me, right? Because like, I have relatives, I have good friends that are fucking gay and shit like that, and they're nothing like that. But then you like turn on the TV,
Yeah.
and you see these like LGBTQ plus parades or festivals and shit like that, and it's like half naked men,
Yes.
They're
and-
all censored and
or
blurred.
naked ass men like in these fucking parks where there's kids and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
since when has this been okay?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you go to the beach and you're wearing a fucking bathing suit or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, since when is this okay? Like, that's not all right.
You're right.
so
Like-
you're not gonna go home tonight and look up that comic strip.
No, fuck no, dude.
Dude,
Like
I-
that,
yeah.
that
Dude.
shit boils my blood because
Yeah.
you know
I
what I
was
mean?
getting mad. Too.
I
I'm like,
I can't help. Yeah, obviously I was laughing my ass off to it, but I can't.
Well, it's
I can't
got-
help but like also laugh at it. I can't
It's
just sit here and get
ridiculous, like-
mad all the
Well,
time.
yeah, you know, obviously I got that dark humor in me, but
Sure.
it's like
You're right.
it's like how
that
I
there's-
can't wrap my head around that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would, if that shit came around me, dude. Like,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I know what I'd be capable of doing. I know exactly what I'd be capable of doing. Like, I've heard stories of like people that I know where their kids, unfortunately, were part of a situation like that, where they were touched by so and so, and it's like, I seriously be fucking locked up. I would be locked up because
100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with myself like that. And I know people that are on the same page as me, and unfortunately, you know, they were unable to because of certain things, you know what I mean? And it's like, that shit fucking sucks. Like, people don't realize how much that shit like travels in time and who it affects and shit like that. Like, that is not okay.
Well, do you think you could be like Gary Plouch though?
Plauché.
Plauché? Yeah, whatever. I don't give a damn about the French. All right, but
this guy is
Yeah.
a hero.
did you hear about this man?
Oh, dude,
back in
that's
the
the
80s.
fucking hero
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying. He didn't spend a single time in jail.
See, it should be like that.
That's
Yeah.
how it should be. The
Yeah.
judge
That's
should be
how
like,
it
"Oh,
should
you did
fucking
what?
be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get out of my courtroom.
He,
what are you doing here?"
Granted, he probably had a fantastic lawyer, but if you don't,
sure.
if you don't know who this man is, basically, his 11-year-old son, got touched by his karate instructor.
Yep.
They caught the karate instructor after the 11-year-old spoke the truth. Gary here was so distraught and angry. He went. This is before the screenings and all that crap for after 9/11.
Yeah.
The Patriot Act and shit like that. Then, so he's sitting at a telephone booth, you know, with his back turned. You had the press coming through. He sees the karate instructor, just pulls out that revolver, aims it right at his fucking head, and drops it like fucker.
Just perfect timing on everything too. As soon as he walks by, doesn't skip a beat. Just because there's a video of it.
Oh yeah, I can pull. I mean,
There's
I
a
can pull
video
it
of
up.
That's
it.
a good dad
that's
right there.
That's a great dad.
That's a badass dad.
That's the dad that you would want. I mean,
That's how
it
you
sucks
should be.
that you get
you-
touched, but
And to your point, what you're talking about before Joey brought that up, I mean, it's the whole. It affects your life. Like it doesn't just affect, you know, like at that moment, right? That moment sucked for them, but like that moment that sucked for them is going to stick with them and shape them for the rest. Their whole future is completely like in the drain now. Yeah.
And you know what sucks though? And this is something I learned in psychology. It's like, it's really, really sad, but girls that are touched end up with a, how can I put it? Like addicted to sex in a way, or they start really early because of that.
Yeah.
Boys, almost the same thing. They turn gay because they're confused.
Yep.
And also,
or they touch other little boys.
correct.
Yeah. Hurt people.
They
hurt
turn
people.
into actual pedophiles.
Yep.
And you know, I'm not just saying to to talk shit, but it's like it's been proven
Yeah,
through
well, it can-
cases, multiple cases where this is the thing, and it's like they interview pedophiles, they interview people that kill people. You know what I mean? Like the mass murder is like where this stem off of. Well, it started off when I was 5 years old and I was touched by my fucking karate teacher or my fucking Boy Scout leader or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like it's fucking ridiculous, but
How to
it's
kill all mosquitoes in the area in just
What?
All
minutes.
right. Yeah. Good.
Not that one.
yeah.
Good segue there.
Yeah.
So mosquitoes, they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking do.
They do. Literally and figuratively.
But yeah, man, and that's honestly why I view that like the punishments for sexual like abuse crimes like rape and shit should be.
Sorry, we're
higher.
playing this.
Yeah, this video's good though. Bah!
Ended. Gone. Deleted.
And he's done. No, that's all I wanted to do. You're good.
Aaron Hernandez gone forever. That's all we needed to see.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it.
Fuck
Aaron
that guy.
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez gone forever.
Why?
Well, I ain't say Aaron Hernandez, but I fucking was talking about the karate teacher, man. Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
Yep.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. And it's like what's even more sad, dude, is like parents don't realize the what they're putting their kids through or what they're exposing them to and shit like that. Like nowadays, right? You go to the fucking, let's say a Walmart or whatever, and you're trying to buy clothes for your kids,
Yeah.
especially your daughters, crop tops, mini skirts,
Oh,
and shit like that.
Right.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I've got
Yeah, dude.
a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. I can't go any. I mean, most of the time I end up having to take them to Kohl's to try to find anything even remotely respectable.
Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah, you're exactly right. Walmart, Target, any of these places, they're crop tops, they're booty shorts, they're all the. It's like I'm trying to
Not
raise
just that, bathing suits, 2-piece.
Yeah, two-piece.
2-piece bathing suits. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, my 9-year-old wanted a 2-piece bathing suit. I'm like,
Hail to the motherfucking
no.
No.
You're gonna wear some sports shorts and a fucking black T-shirt. Fuck you mean?
So of
Right?
of 2023 sex offenders that are rates. Obviously, this could be not
Damn,
even just
look at Oregon.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
These could be many different things. But Texas, 100,000. California, 61,000. New York, 42,000. Michigan, 40,000. Illinois, 33,000. Oregon, this is top 10 or something like that. Oregon, 32,000. Florida, 32,000. North Carolina, 27,000. Wisconsin, 26,000.
Yeah,
So we're what, 8th?
That sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, we have
wild.
a disgusting amount of pedophiles.
A disgusting
Not pedophiles.
amount of
Sorry,
disgusting people.
sex offenders. So it's a blanket term. For
Yeah, and some people
many
do get
things.
caught up in the sex offender list, and I feel like they almost try to push that as like, well, a lot of people get caught up in the sex offender thing because it's like, it's that whole 18-year-old and 17-year-old, the dad didn't like the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like that situation does happen,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing as like with the abortion thing. It's like, well, for rape and incest, but it's like, yeah, but that's like a
here we go.
0.1% chance,
Yeah.
like per
Number of
percentage
child sex abuse victims per 100,000 residents under 18, 2021. Wisconsin. 80 shows 80.
80 per 100,000.
80 per 100,000 residents under 8. Number of child sex abuse victims per 100,000 residents under 18, 2021.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fucking wild. But it looks like like 80 for Wisconsin, but the highest number looks like it is fucking Arkansas. 253.
Fucking Arkansas.
Fucking Arkansas.
Dude, but go back to the. All right, yeah.
What?
Up top? Oh, no, go up a little bit more. Is it still on the same page? Are you?
I'm on the
all
one.
the way-
This is one page. I don't
Yeah, all the way there. See how dark Oregon is? Is that just based on? Is this like the per capita?
I
their,
think
like-
the color wise, yeah, it's per capita.
So Oregon is full of sickos.
Yeah, 772 per 100,000 residents. But Texas has the overall number of sex offenders.
That makes sense, I think. Because of the border.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you have a lot of people that they come over.
Yeah, that would make sense.
The border states too, or cities, whatever you'd want to call them, in the Mexico side, the states are generally the high crime ones too. So like they're gonna have bad statistics as well.
Yeah.
Like your Michoacan and your
Yeah.
all the different. What's the other really? Obviously Tijuana's around the California side, but like oh man, besides Michoacan, there's another one on the Texas side that's crazy.
I have no idea.
It might be on the west side.
Wait, what I miss?
Yeah, so how do you feel about Tom Brady kissing his kids on the lips? You think that's a form of
Oh,
pedophilia?
we were just talking about that today.
What?
Is that a form of pedophilia, you think?
Never.
No.
I mean, his kid's like 12, right?
Never will I ever kiss my kid in the lips.
Yeah, you
That
kiss him somewhere else, right?
Oh, Jesus, stop it.
Christ.
Yeah, in the cheek.
What
and the
is your
forehead.
problem?
But
We're
not like
gonna
that.
have to put you on the list.
Yeah. Good Lord.
No, but dude, that's to me that's gross as fuck.
No, that's disgusting.
It
Yeah,
is to be-
that's gross as
It's
fuck.
not
Like,
natural either.
No.
Like there's
No.
nothing that like makes
you know
me
what's
want
even
to kiss
worse?
them on the lips.
You know what's even worse? Seeing women that I know are fucking hoes kissing their kids in the fucking lips. Like,
Oh,
bitch, you just
yeah.
sucked some dick last night, and here you are kissing little Tommy or little Susie in the fucking
Oh
lips.
man!
Why?
Get away from those angels, you whore!
Yes. and then they're fucking turn on. They're my kids. Fucking bitch. They don't deserve
Yeah,
that.
right.
Clean up, man.
Yeah, they are your kids. You should care a little more.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh man,
Just because you
At
got
least
paid
brush your
$40 and shit. You know what I mean?
it's wild, man. Yeah,
Dude. Hey, speaking of that though, so when it came to like remote schooling and stuff, there was like there's significant, this kind of leads to the incarcerated kids because I mean they grow up in these crap environments, these shit environments with these shit parents, and they're doing $40 blowjobs in the wide open bedroom door, and little Tommy walks in, and he's like, "Hey,
Pow, right in
Mom."
the kisser.
Yeah, right. There was an instance, or a teacher I know in an area close to here that they had that the mom OD'd and died while doing a $40 blowjob. And the bedroom door was wide open, and the kid walked in and witnessed all. That kid's gonna be fucked up for the rest of his life.
yeah.
He has no chance.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna be upset. He's gonna be upset his mom only offered $40 for it. Like, come
Man,
on, dude.
it's not even
Put
gonna
those
come down to
gains
that.
up, dude. Like, come on.
Like he's gonna have all these emotions about her, and she's dead, so he won't ever come to closure with any of it.
So how do you think kids feel when they grow up and find out that their mom was selling their nude pictures for $5?
Yeah,
$2?
dude.
right,
It'll be
man.
interesting once they come. Like,
Well-
let's say 20 years from now, it'd be very interesting. Like, hey, was this your mom? This is
What
her,
the
right? 20
fuck?
years ago, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's wild.
Well, the kids are already getting bullied.
But
for
see, here's the
moms
thing.
being on OnlyFans and stuff.
So, but see, here, that's one of the problems with society today too. Is we're not thinking. No one wants to think 5 miles down the road. It's all
Oh,
about
fuck
here and
no.
now. It's all
Yeah.
about what makes me feel good, what makes me money. Oh, and then some of them say, "Oh, I never want kids. I never want kids," which is, I think that just fits their narrative of being able to make them stacks.
So you know what?
You know?
If they're not in life ready for kids and shit like that, and they don't want kids, fuck it, don't have kids.
Oh,
You're-
sure.
You know what I mean? Like people
Yeah.
do not. There's some people in life that do not deserve it, kids.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but I think
Yeah, I agree.
I think that I think that some people just use that as I think they may actually want kids, but they don't want to admit it, and so they just go along with this act of I never want kids anyway. But that's the way society is nowadays. This whole the whole trans thing, and kind of developing into the minor attracted persons, quote unquote. You can't tell me that you don't see problems with this down the road, but they don't care because that's what they want now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if let's talking about
all just
jail.
satisfaction, man. It's
Well,
all-
yeah, talk about
Oh,
jail. I
yeah.
mean, that's why people land themselves in jail,
Well,
because they don't necessarily think about the consequences
They're
of their
not-
actions.
correct.
There are other reasons,
Correct.
but I mean, most of the time, you didn't think about the consequences of your actions, and now you're being made to pay for those.
Correct.
You know,
It takes like 2 seconds, man.
yeah, but people
2
don't
seconds to make a bad decision,
Exactly.
and then you're in jail.
exactly.
Or
But
then going to prison.
see,
or-
I mean, there's so many people
whatever
out there
else.
that just they feel like, oh, well, other people agree with me, so I feel justified in doing what I'm doing. It's like, maybe step back, evaluate what the consequences are to this. If you do it, doesn't seem very good for you, does it? I mean,
So moms on OnlyFans. This brings me to this meme that I remember that I feel like you guys would really like.
okay,
Understanding that's
Play it.
maybe.
all right. That's enough. It's my understanding that some of you have found Tyler's mom's OnlyFans account and have been teasing him about it. As a result, your teacher, Mr. Stone, has quit. He is convinced that Tyler's going to come in here any day now and shoot this place up. And looking at you now, Tyler, I can absolutely see why he thought that. I mean, Jesus Christ, buddy. You are visibly going through it. Now, guys, unless you want to be dodging bullets in here, I suggest you leave Tyler and his whore mom alone, okay? Listen, it's not that big of a deal. Somebody's got to finger themselves on the internet. Why not Tyler's mom? All right, now, Tyler, promise me you're not going to come in here and start shooting, all right? Oh, maybe. No, I'm serious. Promise me. No, I'm dead serious. Actually, don't fucking do it. It's so hack at this point. Nobody even cares about school shootings, okay? Do it the old-fashioned way. Slide on them out of school. Actually, straight up don't care if you kill some of the kids that are bullying you off school property. Okay? Don't fucking do it here. But that won't be the only shooting at this
get
school.
that
There'll be another one.
liability
There'll
out
be
of
a
here.
single shot coming from my office. It'll be through the roof of my fucking mouth. All right? Okay, so guys, leave Tyler alone. Enough of the throat goat stuff. I know It is warranted and accurate based on the videos we've seen, but seriously, unless you want us all fucking dead, enough.
Good Lord.
I mean, it's not wrong, dude. Like,
No, man.
like
it's gonna get. Yeah.
I'd be very curious. I know, obviously, my mom doesn't have a fucking OnlyFans, but if I was of that age and my mom did, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Oh, I know how
Mom, if you're gonna have OnlyFans, you better homeschool my ass. What the fuck?
Right?
I know exactly how I would feel about that.
I would get a hold of Dad's credit card and subscribe, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. That's a not good choice.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh boy. This is every time we have Joey hop in
So is
on
this
an
like
episode.
first time for anything like that? Or what?
No, not at all. Come on, man. I work at the jail now.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
Exactly.
seen or heard worse.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Well, so what do you think? One of my questions, I guess, for any CO, and it's interesting to hear what anyone would say, but what do you think one of the biggest problems is right now with the jail or prison system? What do you think one of the biggest problems? That maybe it's the way they handle certain things with people. Maybe it's something they could do better, something that they need to stop doing. Just the correctional system in general. What do you think they're doing wrong?
the thing is that around the world, different countries deal with, inmates differently, right?
Sure.
You go to, fucking Thailand, or you go to, like a third world country, where those guys get shot up, they get beat, or you got the fucking guards getting paid bringing in hookers for the, the guys in there. And then you go to like Switzerland. I think it was Switzerland or somewhere where a high max security prison is ran like a college dorm.
Oh yeah, I think Norway.
Norway, yes,
I think it's
yes,
Norway.
yes.
Yeah.
So each inmate gets to wear their own clothes, whatever. They get their own kitchen, bathroom, everything. They have knives and all that shit. And they come out to have recreation. They have jobs, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like really different,
Yeah.
And like here, no matter how nice you are, you're always gonna have those assholes that don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the way I am, it's how I'm talking to you now. That's how I talk in there.
Yeah.
I'm real as fuck. If I'm gonna bullshit you, I'm gonna bullshit you. If I'm gonna tell you your fucking truth, I'm gonna fucking tell you fucking truths. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna treat everybody with respect. And until you start disrespecting me, then I'm gonna start killing you with kindness. Because I'm not gonna be a fucking asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I've had people be fucking assholes all the fucking time. No matter how nice you are and shit like that, they're always gonna try to deceive you. They're always gonna, criminals are always gonna try to get whatever's best for them for that moment.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, no matter how much they change, what they do, anything to rehabilitate anybody, it's like people who are gonna break the rules are gonna be doing the exact same shit.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. And it's like, yes, you can have programs, you can have all this to help people, which are amazing. You know what I mean? Like, if we can have programs and everything that could do everything to help people, awesome.
Well, I know.
But you know what the problem is? Like, we don't have the staffing for it.
Right.
People don't want to fucking help other people. Like,
Right.
like you go through a lot of shit. Teachers that have volunteered their time to try to do something nice in life and help people out, they get called bitches all the time. They go in there, they get made fun of and everything, and it's like, dude, they're in here trying to help you out, dumbass. Like,
The worst is the parents of some of the kids too, because my wife's a teacher, and
ooh,
the parents are sometimes worse than the kids are themselves.
man,
It's
Where
like,
they're getting it from, man.
well, that's exactly it. Or my wife has actually said sometimes the worst ones are when the kid is super respectful, but then when parent-teacher conference time comes around, the parents are just belligerent to the teachers, And it's just crazy. But What? Oh.
Doesn't help this area kind of blows. You know?
Well, yeah, the school district that she works in is not a very good one, but yeah, it's just it's
Worked
wild.
for me, man. No, I'm just kidding. You did
Yeah,
too.
it worked for me too. Yeah.
Worked for me.
Shit, how much you
Di-
paying? What's
dis-
up?
Yeah, disregard the things I said like 20 minutes ago. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my part, Starship Trooper style. What do you mean?
Oh man, dude. Like, but going back to your question though about like what we could do, anything like that. I mean, anywhere you see it in the system, it's rigged. There's always loopholes through everything. Like one of the things is like, like child support. That's supposed to be for the benefit of the child.
Yeah.
Fuck no, that's for the fucking benefit of the government and somewhat about the child. Then the baby mama fucking whatever situation is, any program or anything like that, there's loopholes through it. There's leaks through it. It's messed up. And I think another thing that makes it even worse is nowadays people don't have dignity. People don't have self-responsibility, where it's like they're all about, somebody else will pick it up. Like, who the fuck is going to pick it up? Nobody. Like, you got to be committed to, like, if you want to be different, if you want a different community, different world or whatever, you have to put yourself out there. Hence why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? Because, like, growing up, as a kid, I wanted to be a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I want to help people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a Power Ranger and shit, help. And then throughout life, actually, I never thought about being in the law enforcement world, right? Like, I thought, coming out of college, high school, I thought I was going to be a chef, actually. I was going to be a chef. And then I had an opportunity when I was a junior in high school to travel out to Costa Rica and Panama. And we were going out there with Peace Corps members.
Okay.
If you don't know what a Peace Corps member is basically a volunteer who gets elected or assigned, a town or a village or anything around the world, and their mission or their assignment is to better that community, right?
Right.
One way or another, to make it self-sustainable and help them out or do whatever you can. And then once
Give it
you're
the Akon treatment.
yeah. So then once your project is done after a year and a half or 2 years, you come back home and kind of see them how it goes. You can go anywhere from building a well, building a village, helping maintain livestock, or helping them learn how to farm, shit like that, anything like that. So we were out there learning about environmental sustainability, about culture shock and everything. Obviously, I Mexican. I've been going to Mexico for a long time. I understand that lifestyle and everything. I was fucking comfortable, but it was a big shock for a lot of the kids that were there because they've never lived like that. You know what I mean? They've like, I fucking shit in a bucket. I've shit in a hole and shit like that. I fucking bathed in a fucking river. But to these guys, they were like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, dude, this is fucking life. Like, this is good shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And going out there, like, I was like, you know what, like, this is something I could see myself doing. And one of the times when we were out there in Panama, we actually went to a small island off the coast of Panama. Right? It's called Boca del Toro is the area. And we had to get in 2 small boats, drive, well, I call it drive, but basically go around some mangroves and stuff like that. And into this fucking, you open up a current of fucking trees and shit, and you fucking see this like small village on a fucking mountaintop. And they were living on homes that were on top of stilts and everything. Like, it was super, super poverty shit. But it was hard for me and everybody else because only a couple of them spoke Spanish, and the rest of them, it was their dialect. So, like, to me, I was like, they looked like my fucking family members, but it's like they couldn't understand me,
Oh, okay.
So the first night we were there, what they had was like activity time with the community, so they would play a game. So they asked us to show them a game that we like to play. Me being the guy that I am, fucking Mr. Talks a lot, and I was one of the few that spoke Spanish. It's like, hey, Josue, you're up. Like, show them a game. So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna fucking teach them? So we ended up playing Simon Says, but instead of Simon Says, it was Josue Dice. So
Okay,
Josue Says. And it became so popular that anytime I was walking around or whatever, some kids would run up to me like, hey, well, let's play Josue Dice. So here I am telling these kids, okay, Josue Dice to run to this tree till the next and come back. It was fun as fuck. And, you know, I was like interacting with the community. I loved it a lot. And then there was a point where, you know, some girls out there were looking fine. You know, I was 16 years old. So, yeah, I mean, so I was just, you know, checking some out or whatever. And then we were out doing a tour around the fucking mountain. And all the fucking sudden, two guys like searched for me. He's like, "Hey, our leader wants to speak to you." And I'm just like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, what'd you do?
Was it his daughter or something? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, "Fuck!" I was fucking shitting bricks, dude.
Josue Dice, go away.
That's what I felt like, dude. And then, so then we fucking travel the fucking 30 minutes in the fucking jungles and shit, swatting flies and bees and monkeys. Finally get there, and I had this like conversation with this guy. He's like, "Hey man, I appreciate you coming here and treating my people well. I see that you're a very intelligent person, and I know that you're very truthful and you speak the truth. I want to talk to you about a couple things." Like, oh fuck! Like I thought you were gonna hang me or some shit, you know, skin me alive. And he's like, "No, I really do appreciate what you're doing." And he's like, "Please be honest about our project here. What do you think about it?" So, like, oh, that was easy. So I'm fucking having a simple conversation with him. What I thought was 30 minutes ended up being 4 hours.
Yeah.
Of him and I just talking about things in life and about how I am with my family and stuff like that, and about how I was pretty comfortable. And he was pretty amazed. And he was telling me that the community there, they plant cocoa beans to make chocolate, bananas and shit like that. A lot of that stuff, they'll sell it out in the market, make some money. And then as a community, they would pitch in money and send kids to the mainland to study. And their thing with that was like they wanted the kids to go out, learn, study, and come back and build the community. Only 25% of the kids came back and to help the community and stuff like that. But luckily for them, they had a Peace Corps member there that was helping them develop to be able to allow tourists to come and like live their life, see a little bit of what they do and stuff like that. So that way people could, you know, experience the whole native lifestyle, I guess. And dude, I kid you not, from the time we left Costa Rica, we were eating fruit every day. By the time we got to Panama, our bodies was like craving sugar because we were eating so much fruit in Costa Rica. We got here, we weren't getting shit. He gave me a little bundle of bananas. Dude, it was gold. It was gold to me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even top it off. So he fucking sits there and he's like, "Hey, so when are you going to be coming back?" I was like, "Shit, I'll be back in next month if I could." You know what I mean? Just plane tickets are a little expensive, so I got to work or whatever. Yeah. He's like, "Well, what about you stay right now?" I was like, "Stay?" He's like, "Yeah, don't even go back home. Just stay here with us." I'm like, "Where the fuck am I going to stay? I have no house." He's like, "You see that house down there?" I was like, "Yeah, we just built that one. That one's for me, but you can have it."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, if you stay here, that's going to be your house." I'm like, "Oh, shit, okay." But my parents, he's like, "Don't worry about that. We're going to have our women here take care of you." The women that were in the kitchen, he was like, "All those are single. Pick one."
Oh my God.
Man.
And I was looking at the lady with the big titties, and I was like, but I was just like, dude, I'm 16. Like,
Yeah.
That's wild. But
Like,
you're a man in their culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, to him, and I didn't think about it until like later on in life, is like, to him, I'm somebody sophisticated with knowledge and education and like somebody that he believed that could push him forward.
Right.
Dude, I was so fucking tempted to stay. You know what I mean? Like it was badass, you know what I mean? Like where it's like I talked to the director, he showed up, I was like, "Hey dude," he just offered me a house and a wife. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, if I stay, whatever." He's like, "Dude, fuck no, I'm gonna lose my job back at home if I fucking leave you here." So I told him, I was like, "Look, man, I want to help you out. I want to help out your guys' project, your mission. I love it and everything. I'm gonna get in contact with the Peace Corps member that is helping you out because I guess according to that time, He was on vacation or whatever, so he was somewhere in the mainland. I was, look, man, I'm gonna talk to him, get in contact with your Peace Corps member that you're helping out, and you know they were making bracelets, they were making a whole bunch of shit. I was like, I'm sure I can have this shit shipped back home. We can sell it, send the money back home, and make some money for you guys and shit. It's like, all right, cool. So we ended up leaving 2 days later, and we left a day earlier because a tropical storm was coming about. It was hurricane season. So we ended up leaving, and after that was like the closer to the end of our stay. We ended up staying at a hotel for the last week, close to the Panama Canal, which was really cool. On the second day in, we got hit with a hurricane, but it was just like a bad storm here in Wisconsin.
Sure.
And I mean, it wasn't bad, I mean, it's like, wow, this is a hurricane. Okay, it's not that bad. But there's trees falling all over it. But then I heard the adults talking. They're like, dude, it's a good thing. They're like, it's a good thing that we left when we did. And me being honest, I was like, why? Because the hurricane kind of hit them. Actually, it hit them hard. And where they were staying, it was so elevated that the ocean water still wiped like half of the village.
Wow.
Dang.
I was like, my wife. But it was like, that's fucking nuts. Like, what if I would have stayed? You know what I mean? Like, what would I done? And it was nuts, but it was a beautiful experience. Like the whole thing, it was a beautiful experience and everything. And I learned a lot. And it fucking humbled me a lot, 100%. And humbled a lot of kids that went with me. And looking back at some of the kids that went there, they honestly learned a lot, and to this day, a lot of them are really successful in what they're doing. And when it comes down to environmental stuff or whatever, and then there's some that just were fucking weird.
Yeah.
So
you're always gonna have that,
right? I kind of want to ask you two questions here. So, with being someone who's traveled outside the country, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, how do you think it's good? Do you like America? Do you think America is somewhere like overall you would come back to, right? Like if because as in being a United States citizen, right? Do you think that you're happy that you were born as such?
100%.
Whereas, and then this kind of caveat, it's more of like a 3-part question, I guess you could say. With being happy as a United States American, do you think it's odd or weird how you have people that are saying that they are upset with America's turmoil and like how they're upset with America because of the things that they do, but not having been outside of this country and seeing some of the atrocities or it's not as cool.
Well, just not
in other
necessarily
places.
atrocities, just like how much people don't understand how different the world actually is.
Motherfuckers don't understand
don't
at
get it.
all.
Yeah, like when I hear people talk about like, oh, communism is cool, and it's like, are you sure about that?
What?
and it's mostly they say that because they've never actually been under a communist regime. Like, so it's like,
Correct.
you've never traveled outside of this country. How do you know?
Correct.
How do you know it's cool? I've been outside of this country. I know it's not nearly as cool as America, dude. Like,
Right.
America's dope as hell. But
I love the gays for Palestine stuff. That
Yeah.
one cracks me up the most because it's like, all right, go.
Exactly.
yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
So how do you feel about?
Before I answer that
Go ahead.
about the gays for Palestine, whatever, my brother-in-law and I were talking, and he was telling me about how a couple people have volunteered that were gay and transgender or whatever, and they went out there with kits. You know what I mean, right? To fucking
There
fight.
is where.
Huh?
There is where you're talking about
Like Palestine or whatever Hamas was at
they
or whatever.
actually went to Hamas.
So they went.
the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, so they went out there to help them fight
no.
against Americans and
What
against
color are
Israel,
they?
whatever.
Sorry,
Israel.
what color are they?
Who?
Your friends that went.
No. My brother-in-law was telling me about this.
Oh, your
Oh,
brother. Oh,
okay.
just telling you.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
okay,
brother-in-law
okay.
was telling me about there was a group of people that went out there to volunteer to help them with aid or whatever, but because they were flying,
Help them with AIDS? Is that what you said?
possibly, but aid them medically, whatever they needed to do, suck a dick, I don't know, whatever they gonna do. But they were flying the LGBTQ flag, and they were fucking threatened by the own people that they were there to help.
Yeah, dude. Like what?
Like, you're gonna fucking die doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Like, how do you not understand? What?
People people don't realize that we are blessed here. As fucked up as our government can be or whatever, and how big bullies,
Corrupt and stuff.
and big bullies there are in the fucking world or anything, like, we live lavishly.
Yeah.
We live lavishly. You're telling me that somebody with 5 kids doesn't want to work or anything, and they get free food and everything that's like not lavish? There's people in Mexico that I know personally that have to sell something every day. They have to work one way or another to be able to eat that day.
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of caveats in my third question there is, and I don't know, I think when I was younger I could have answered this question, but I don't know if I can answer it anymore. What does it mean to be an American?
Ooh.
Somebody who can work for their own, and I can't even say own their own, because in reality you don't own shit in America, right? Because anybody can come, the government can come and take it, right?
Yeah.
You can buy a house, you can buy a car, you can buy whatever,
Still paying taxes.
but as soon as you piss off somebody with the 3-letter words, they can fucking take that shit.
Yep.
Right? But in other countries, dude, I mean, like in Mexico, dude, like one of the biggest battles they're having right now is trying to take that away from people, right? Like in Mexico, you buy a land, that land is yours. But but the thing too is, if you're not in your land for more than a month or two or whatever, and somebody comes in, they can take it over. You know what I mean? That's like the shitty part about out there. Like, and now they're trying to go back to where from what I understood was Mexico was trying to adapt what the United States was having, where it was like, it was the government's, but you could quote unquote buy it from the government or lease it, whatever. Like the same shit we do here.
So foreign people could buy Mexican land, right?
Anybody. You know what I mean?
Anybody. That's what
so
I'm
like
saying,
for example, here, right? You can buy a plot of land, you can buy a house, but guess who owns it? The government.
Right.
Yeah, technically, you're leasing it for like 99 years or some lame crap like that. Like it's diabolical to a
Correct. Like let's say
degree.
Let's say I have money and I want to buy, let's say, a ranch out in Orfordville, right?
Yeah.
I buy this ranch with 25 acres, whatever. But I don't own that shit because I still got to pay the fucking municipality taxes and shit like that.
Yep.
Like if I can't own it or whatever, the municipality can come in and fucking kick me out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of these things didn't exist more than 200 years ago. Like I should even say less than that. Like 100 years ago, the stuff that we are dealing with today is in property taxes, sales taxes, all these taxes. Honestly, we get we sit there and complain about a 2% T tax, and yet we are actively getting taxed between 40 and 60%.
Yeah.
On America, baby.
We get taxed on everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the problems, but that's what makes it kind of hard to explain or answer the question of what's it mean to be an American anymore.
Yeah, anymore. Right? It's hard, but I think it's mostly just that meritocracy driven morals based on a Christian worldview. It's a lot of live and let live.
Are
if
you Christian,
work
Josue?
hard. Saved by the God. This is your sign.
Repent and be baptized.
But I just, I
Jesus.
So, I grew up Catholic, but I was baptized Catholic, but Catholics are Christian, so I believe I'm Christian.
Yeah.
The definition of a Christian is for somebody that follows Christ.
Follower
Right,
of Christ.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm a follower of Christ.
There you go.
and that's
So
right.
yes, I'm a Christian.
Because there's so many people. Because my wife's Catholic too, and it's just like, well, it's all Christian, but no Catholic's different. It's like, all right, but it's Christian.
I'm the other way around. I was Catholic and my wife's Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
She
that
like
was
a
rough.
she like a non-dom or what?
No, she's Pentecostal Christian. So
Pentecostal.
so that was
Ooh.
rough.
That was way different. I had
And what's even worse, that her parents are pastors.
Oh,
So the fact that I was able to take the pastor's daughter and help him out, that means I put in work.
Was it
There
like
you
a
go.
was it like a footloose situation or what?
Dude, I
honestly,
I-
Pentecostalism is kind of crazy, like the stuff in Footloose.
yeah,
Sometimes it can be.
yeah, and you know, I had to put in some work and I had to prove myself, and I think I did. I mean, I proved myself that, you know, I was pretty worthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say I'm an old school guy, because you know, I believed in, you know, we shouldn't get married, we shouldn't be having sex or, you know, living together before getting married and stuff like that. So I always told him, I was like, I'm not gonna take your daughter away from this house unless I marry her.
Yeah, see,
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I even told him too, I was like, I'm gonna prove myself to you that I'm worthy for me to be able to take your daughter.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I have that planted in my head because karma's a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do this because one day I hope that when my daughter grows up, when she's like 85, finally some guy comes around and he's like, hey, I want to marry your daughter, you know? Like, nah, motherfucker, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
And something they always joked about or whatever, and it's something that was in the Bible. I haven't yet read the whole Bible. I've probably read like one passage, so I'm getting there. But
I know John 3:16.
Progress, man. Progress.
no, but it's like something they always talked about was like in the Bible, whatever. So and so worked 7 years for their father-in-law, whatever. You know what I mean? And I did. You know what I mean? I proved myself. Before I started working where I'm at, you know, I was working 3 jobs and going to school full time.
Well,
I was working 44 hours on my one job. Then I was bouncing on the weekends, and then any free time that I had, I was cutting lawns with my future brother-in-law, I guess at the time.
okay.
And then I was still going to school full time.
Damn.
So I was like, you know, like I was trying to make my money, and I think and then the fact that I was doing all that and I was still finding time to spend time with my girlfriend at the time and, you know, buy her things and make her happy and be respectful and stuff like that. I think that's what really allowed my father-in-law to, I guess, have an open mind about allowing a Catholic into the family. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, our first meeting, dude, the first day I met him, did not go well. Like,
Yeah.
so like when we first started dating, right, I told her, I was like, hey, you know, I want to meet your dad. She was like, oh, no. No, you're not going to. I was like, yes, I have to.
Please don't dance in front of him. For the love of God.
I was like, no, dude, I have to meet him. You know what I mean? I have to let him know who I am. You know what I mean? I don't want him to think that I'm just some weirdo coming out of the fucking, you know,
Coming out of the woodwork, right?
So, you know, she always told me, she was like, no, I'll set up a meeting with him or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? Not gonna set up a schedule with him or whatever?
Super formal.
Yeah. And it took about like 3 weeks. Sorry. It took 3 weeks for me to finally like sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
And I was nervous as fuck, you know what I mean? And the last thing she told me before I like ended up going to the church to meet him there, she was like, just be patient and just do it for us. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, whatever.
Set me up with that little nugget. Thanks. Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't say you're Catholic.
No, he knew. And we had a conversation, and we had multiple conversations, and it didn't go well. Let me just tell you, our first meeting did not go well. Like, I was ready to beat his ass. Like, I was. It was bad, you know. And then I was like, you know what? You know, I love this girl, and you know, I'm gonna do what I have to do. And you know, later on, he found out that I wanted to be a cop, and I was going to college to be a cop, you know. And then that was a whole nother thing, because in their beliefs, they don't believe in guns. They don't believe in stuff like that. So I was just like, okay. So literally, they invited me for dinner. And I was there, and he brought it up. And I was like, well, you want to have this conversation now? I'm down.
Yeah.
So, him and we had a strong conversation. Like, we had a strong conversation about this whole thing. And one of the things where I fucking got him, where I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. He gave me brownie points was like, when he told me, he was like, whenever you have your uniform and you have that gun, you're never going to be welcome to my house. I was like, oh, okay. So
When?
so I was like, so when somebody steals something from you or commits a crime on your fucking property, don't fucking call me or 911.
Yep.
Why not? That's their job, because you don't want nobody in uniform or nobody with a gun in your property.
Yeah, right?
Boom.
Then he was like, what? He was like, a lot of people hate police. They don't want to deal with police until they fucking want them.
Yeah, exactly.
So they need them, right?
That's exactly it.
Correct.
Yep.
And he's like, and I was like, okay, so what if somebody breaks in the house and is raping your wife? What are you going to do? I'm going to call the cops. Where are you going to call them? What do you want them to do? They're going to fucking, you want them to go shoot him? Well, they have to stop him somehow. Like, what do you think he's going to do when the dude has a knife in his hand?
Yep.
So we had a very strong conversation, but after that, he was like, little by little, whatever.
Right.
So 10 years later, now he's talking to me about like security and stuff like that at the church and like and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
We have, we talk about, because he was a military guy in Honduras. So, we talk about guns sometimes, and we talk about some things. We talk about laws, and now we have a really good relationship, and I love it. And I love our relationship because I respect him a lot. He's gone through a lot. He's not the perfect man or anything like that. He didn't live a perfect life, but when somebody's committed to God, he's a good example.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
he definitely worked hard for where he's at now. That's why I give all credits to him too, where he's at now. His family didn't live lavishly, but they were blessed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something they understood, and that's how you have to live life. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might not have everything, and that's something I seen when I was out, in Mexico, Costa Rica, and Panama. For a lot of people that didn't have it all, you know what I mean? You may not have it all, but what you do have and gets you by, understand that it's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's beautiful.
I heard a crazy quote the other day. It was that, what did he say? He said, I asked God for happiness, and he said no. Because of all of the blessings that he's given me, it was my responsibility to find the happiness in those blessings.
Ooh.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's great. I really liked that.
That's, man, I gotta say, like, a lot of my beliefs come in more so that, because like I grew up super kind of lefty atheist type kind of kid, just
We're glad you came
edgelord
around.
Hold
Kyle.
on, you were atheist and now you're with a Catholic?
Well, yeah, right. It's crazy. Look, I told her like one of the things I told her I didn't like country music, and I didn't like I wasn't religious.
Good.
And so like she's like I can change, we're gonna change both of those things. Like don't worry about it. Like she was just like I was that wounded bird that she needed fixed. You know what I mean? That whole thing, and I mean it worked because. And I'll say this too, because she's Mexican American, but like
Oh, good luck.
yeah,
Man.
hey, man.
Good luck. How long have you been married?
We've been married for a while now. So
No. How long?
Oh God. 13 years. We'll be going on 14 years this year.
There you go.
Jeez.
Good man. Good man.
So,
They call you güero, don't they?
well, so
Yeah.
Yes.
I get the widow, but like at first, and then I get called Wexican,
Wexican.
the white Mexican. I get called that one every once in a while.
There you go.
But mostly, I mean, it's when I got introduced to the family, I had that whole kind of like Godfather situation where he, brought me down in the basement. I'm like, oh, where's this going? Like anything you need in this house is yours. Whatever you need, it's the whole family is very opening, and it's kind of what it struck me is like. You are welcome here. My daughter chose you, so obviously I'm going to accept her choice. You have everything until you give us a reason not to trust you, basically, was what it felt like. And I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. Like it felt very Godfather-ish.
As
like,
the dad is sharpening the machete in the back.
Right, that's what it felt like, man. But yeah, it was wild. And he was he was a very big inspiration on like me fixing up my life, you know, kind of getting on the right track.
Good.
He was a very big like he was obviously Catholic too, but he wasn't like he didn't go to church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was one of those types that's like, I live my faith. Like I don't need to show anybody. I don't need to show it off for anybody else. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So for me, like that kind of shaped. Whereas I came in from that atheist type of view of like, but I was still being shaped by the Christian moral values. I was still living my life by, you know, the Bill of Rights, the thou shalt not kill. All these things like made common sense to me. So it's like it was a, you know, it was real easy. But just getting into that, like, you know, shut up, Joe. I'm trying to talk. It just made a real easy transition, I should say, into that. Like seeing that model, it's like, yeah, that's how I kind of view Christianity. Like people should just be that. If more people were just that way without announcing it, without showing it, without having the virtue signal every second of the day, and if more people just live those values, the society would be great, the community would be great, and everybody would be happy.
One of the biggest messy things that Christians get themselves into is that they feel like they have to do all of these things in order to earn heaven. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they need to show everybody that they're good. They need to show everybody what they're doing. When in reality, I mean, if you read the Bible, the price has already been paid. Correct. Right?
Yeah.
So while your faith should show those good works come from your faith, not the other way around.
Yeah.
You know, when you have faith in something higher than yourself, you're naturally going to you're going to be humbled, which puts you on a level playing field with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And once you realize that you're on a plane with everybody else, what makes you any better than this person or that person? So instead, when I see this person having problems, I'll go help them out. You know, those are the things that should be coming from your faith, not necessarily you just having an opportunity to show your faith to the world.
Correct.
You know, and that's the way it should be. You're absolutely right. That's if more people adopted that thought process, regardless of if they went to church all the time or whatever, you know. Well, some churches will tell you if you're not on church on Sunday, you're at risk of going to hell. You know, it's not like that. But I do agree with you that if more people embrace that mindset, we would be in a lot better of a place than we are in now.
Big time.
It's crazy. The whole you know, what does it mean to be American? I mean,
I think I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and it's a little bit, you know, to be an American is somebody who is willing to declare this as their country, right? Mm-hmm. Take care of this country, and help build this country, right? Yep. So, you know, anybody who's willing to work hard and respect their own, respect other stuff, and you know, live life as free as you can without hurting others.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Boom. I think that right there.
I think that's
living
good.
your life as freely as you can without harming others.
Yeah.
Boom. If I could put that on a bumper
and
sticker, I would.
I'll put that
I
shit
like
on
that.
the hat. That's what we can do in my business.
There you go. Put it on a Zippo.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
just
just helping
hell
out.
Yeah.
I think to be an American is to lead by example, you know, to have all those values like integrity and just dignity and stuff. And just, you know, you see that trash, someone else will pick that up. No, you go pick that up.
Yeah.
So that maybe someone else in the future will go pick that up.
Put your carts in the cart corral. Don't just leave it for someone else.
Please.
It's honestly, you know, like it's a question that I've been thinking about for many, many weeks now. You know, like someone asked me the question, so I've been thinking about it. But
you're welcome. I already answered it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good answer. But on top of that, like piggybacking off of your thought there as well, it's just having the Army core values. As long as you have the Army Corps values, you're fucking golden. If you
just
do
sign
you know what
that
the
contract and you'll be fine. You'll learn
Just
everything you need to
sign
learn.
the dotted line right now. Sign your life away. Give me 40 years of your life.
And you will learn everything you need to learn to be a good citizen.
And just thank Uncle Sam.
Yes. He did this for you.
Thank you,
that's
Uncle Sam.
wild.
You fucked me in the ass. You took all my taxes.
Yeah. So the Army Corps values is loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And they're exactly what you think they are.
Yeah.
They're yes, they have all definitions behind them, but they're exactly what you think they are, and they're fucking phenomenal.
And it's, and actually I've thought this stuff for a really long time. It's like, and this is actually a conversation that my wife and I had, right? That could correlate to Christian beliefs.
Oh,
That can correlate to any beliefs, really. And it's like, one of the conversations we had, her and I, was, she was like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that to get right with God. And it's like, dude, honestly, like, I don't think it matters what church you go to, what religion you believe in or whatever, as long as you follow the correct values, right? You're not hurting others. And I mean, that's the way of God, you know what I mean? To respect others, live for others and help others and forgive your neighbor and, and stuff like that, feed kids and whatever, But don't do it in a sense where it's like you want to prove yourself of how good you are.
Yeah.
It's like you just do it because you know that it's the right thing to do.
Doing the right thing when no one is looking.
Correct.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love integrity is my favorite value. You should always live your life because people, and it's like, even if you don't really believe in God, like, this is just a way to phrase it. It's like, you should always live your life as if someone's watching, as if you're on a stage and there's an audience. You should always live your life that way because it allows you to be proud of yourself, righteously proud of things you've done right. But it also gives you that, sense of, or that, I guess, non-guilt feeling too. Of like,
and with these Army Corps values that I brought up, it has nothing to do with the militaristic type of thing, like the way in which you're like executing a plan or whatever. It doesn't really even have to correlate with the military. But if you take these 7 core values, whether you learn them in the military or not, you can take them anywhere.
Correct.
Any possible situation you can fall back on those 7 core values and excel in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of atheists too will spout that it's like, oh, you shouldn't need religion to teach someone what's right or wrong. And it's like, well, obviously you do, because you haven't traveled outside of this country and see that people that didn't have God or Jesus and all these things tend to like off each other in record numbers, and it's like a thing that they just do and they're okay with. So you do need to teach people that it's not okay.
I mean,
kill
honestly,
others.
if you look at especially American values or American belief, we didn't really start caring about American life until probably post Vietnam or in the middle of Vietnam, because you look at the death numbers and stuff like that. And then let's say you look at Vietnam, which was, I think, 60,000, give or take, Americans. A GWAT, which was 20 years, a 20-year war for GWAT, 5,000. 5,000 Americans died, and we hated every single one of those individuals that died. We were so angry about it. And then you look at the Civil War, you look at World War II, World War I, stuff like that. Death pulls through the roof. And now we're turning like, no, we care. We care. Whereas you look at other countries, they don't fucking get. You're a meat pawn getting pushed into a war such as Ukraine versus Russia. They're just like, oh, you're a meat shield. Just you're meat to the fodder. Who cares? I don't care.
Well, for Russia, but I give props to fucking Ukraine to defend, their country and stuff like that.
I mean,
but
so
also,
far being able
there's
to
some
fight
sketchy
so far.
shit I've heard about that. Like, one of the things that I heard and kind of was like pushed hush hush was that Ukraine had assigned this person to be the leader of the children or whatever. So basically, her job is to like, I guess, to be in charge of the education of children. And
It's like propagandize the children or something like that, or
no,
what?
like more of like, I guess, like board of education or whatever.
Okay.
She was like the leader of that shit. And guess who it is? Is one of the high priests priestess of the fucking demonic church or whatever, satanic church.
Demonic
Yeah.
church? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had
what
not heard
the
about this.
hell? And like, I'm like, I wonder what you guys are planning and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So it's like there's always evil, whatever. But wrapping it up because I know you were trying to use your new grill and stuff like that.
Oh, not tonight. No, but like,
No,
yeah,
but,
we got to wrap it up anyway.
Something I've talked about openly with my family, with my in-laws and stuff like that. It's like they're always talking about how we want you to be a pastor and this and that. Like, you know what? I'm not it to be a pastor. Like, I don't see myself doing that. But what I have told them, and it's I didn't mean to because I know they were gonna be like, oh, see, there you are. It's like I've actually talked to inmates about God. And not in the sense where it's like I'm throwing it down your throat, but it's like, I don't know how or why, but I feel like, things have came to me where it's like I've said the right things at the right moment, and for whatever reason, it sparks something in them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I've talked to these people, and we're having this conversation, and I just say the darnest things where it's like, in myself, I'm like, I would have never thought of saying that. But I said the right thing at the right time, where it's like it sparked something in them. And a lot of them have like really learned from it. Right? Like I remember talking to this like 60-year-old guy, right? An older guy. You know what I mean? I'm 23 at the time. Damn. What am I gonna say to fix this 60-year-old man's life, right? And we had a conversation, a man-to-man conversation and stuff like that, and and I was just saying the right things at the right time, and I didn't think so, right? Until we ended our conversation. A week later, he fucking thanked me. Wow. He's like, dude, you don't realize how much you changed my life. I was like, I ain't do shit but talk to you. You know what I mean? Right. He's like, dude, no, like you said the things that I was needing, the things I needed reassured, and because of you, I have a better relationship with my wife now. We talked about, how to build this relationship or how to fix this relationship. Well, fuck, I'm 23. I don't fucking know much about relationships, but at that time I said the right things at the right time, and it helped him build his relationship with his wife. He was a freaking flyer. I haven't seen him since. Nice. And at that time, like, I helped him with his mental health and everything. Last time I seen him was out and about, and he was telling me about how he's going to church now, and that I helped him build his faith, and he's getting in contact with his children now and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, man, that's cool. That's badass. Like, to me, like, that's the coolest thing ever. Yeah. And that's me. You know what I mean? Like, I rather do things and help people without people watching. Like, I don't like showboating. Like, hey, here, I helped a homeless man. Like I did that once. Right? I was like 17 or whatever, and I bought this fucking man like a fucking 2 chicken nuggets. I mean, 2 things of chicken nuggets and a Big Mac and maybe a drink or something like that on my way to church. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I feel good. I did something good, and I posted it, and I was like, this was stupid.
Yeah. Well,
like, what was I like looking for?
Right.
And so, like, later on I deleted it, and it's like, what was I looking for? Like, there was no need to showboat that, what I mean? And I think it's like, when you actually want to bless somebody, you do it on the kindness of your heart, not because you want to show people stuff.
Absolutely.
Like they say, it's interesting the way God moves through you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that whole story was kind of like one of those things. It's like, man, it's like one of those stories you hear about how God works through people. Like
100%.
Dude, and I didn't see that, right? Because, as a Catholic, when I found out about Pentecostals and about how like they scream and holler and they talk in tongues, like, to me that was like,
just you wait till purgatory comes.
Well,
so then
my wife had a Pentecostal background, and I'm Lutheran. And so, I mean, Lutherans, a lot of people say like Lutherans are Catholic light.
Yeah. Just shit on the Lutherans real fast. Like, oh wow, okay.
I had one lady say Lutheranism is like Catholicism. It's all of the guilt, but none of the saints. It's like, oh yeah, but I know that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So like, I remember like my first day ever going to church with my girlfriend at the time, right? My wife. And some guy got the Holy Spirit and he's like dancing around. I'm like,
dude,
what did I sign myself up for? And I was like, these people praise God by doing what I did just last Saturday at a party, just fucking dancing around. It's funny.
No, so
and I didn't get it until one day, I was at a family function with my in-laws and stuff like that. And I had made a comment about, oh yeah, and Pentecostals just think that they just by dancing around and getting the Holy Ghost, everybody got silent.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I just ruined my chances. And they're like, no, the Holy Spirit is real and everything. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But honestly, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like,
100%. The Holy Spirit will use you whether you like it or not. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
And I mean, just a conversation like this that we're having now, who knows who it's going to reach? Who knows who's going to listen to it at some point when they absolutely need it to?
Yeah, well, they say it's a gathering of two or more, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
well,
and, it's nice to have these conversations too.
Oh,
For,
100%.
Definitely is.
because like
this is
a lot of-
unfortunately this is a controversial topic.
just a lot of the opinions we've shared are super
Yeah.
controversial, and they're all coming from a common sense and logical standpoint of do no harm to others and live your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the common theme.
But you know why it's so controversial though? Is because this was being pushed through the media.
Absolutely.
right.
Right? The people that are not being bothered by any of this stuff that we're talking about is the people that just sit back, live their life, and do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just
Ignorance is bliss.
but people who are constantly on social media being influenced by that or whatever, that's where it's hurting them because now they have to question this, they question that. It's like, well, how do you think this person feels? Well, shit, I don't know. I'm not with them. You know what I mean?
Dude.
If they have a problem with it, they can come talk to me and we can have a man-to-man or woman-to-man conversation, and I'm okay with that. Like, if I fucked up, you fucking tell me I fucked up and tell me how I fucked up and what I should have not said or what you believe in. And I was like, cool. Teach me something that I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. People cannot do that nowadays.
No.
It's like you can't give people feedback because, oh shit, you just fucking told them they're ugly, motherfucker. They should have told you that when you were 2 years old.
One of our favorite quotes around here is, "If you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room."
Yeah.
That's one of our favorite quotes around here because that should be a goal in your life, is to always constantly learn.
Yeah.
You know,
always strive to surround yourself by people who are better than yourself.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
always learn.
So,
But
well,
yeah.
what do we, Kyle? We always like
Man.
to. I didn't tell you this part. We always like to end our show with what we were drinking during the
Yeah.
episode.
And
Oh.
I went
This
through
is
the
the-
gauntlet. So
This is the beer part of common sense and beer.
Ah, okay.
So, but
Well, I wasn't drinking any beer. I was drinking a little.
Some
a
whiskey.
Yeah, it was lemonade whiskey.
oh
okay.
It was Crown Royal whiskey lemonade, 7%.
Was that good?
It was good. And
Oh,
I'm feeling it for
7%.
sure.
Wow, I thought it
Ooh.
was. I thought there were fivers. Oh
No,
shit.
no wonder he wanted the water.
Yeah,
after
dude,
a
I was
couple.
like, man,
I was gonna
drive
keep
home.
trying to feed him. I was like, oh, what you want more? You want more? Like,
I got
I'll keep.
responsibilities,
Honestly,
man.
honestly, I need to go buy me some of these because this is gonna be the new summer drink.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they made those. to be honest.
What you got, Kyle? What were you drinking?
Oh man, so plenty of things, right? I went through the gauntlet of all pretty much summer ales: Goose Island 312, the Sam Adams Summer Ale, the Line and Google Summer Shandy.
Man,
They're all delicious.
you're having a party.
But
Yeah.
I finished off with a Blue Moon Haze, so a good old IPA that's orange juice flavored. Can't go wrong if you like IPAs.
Still
Moon
managed to
Haze.
taste like grass though somehow.
Somehow they do it. They
Yeah.
pull it off every time.
No, orange juice. Just kidding, grass.
I don't understand. But whatever. They got it down. What about
Yeah,
you, Zach?
I did the 312, and then I switched over to the summer ale, which is pretty
Yeah,
good.
Sam
It's-
Adams, right?
yeah,
That's
the Sam
good one.
Adams summer ale. It's not like 312 or summer shandy.
No, I would say it's not as lemony.
No, I mean, it's right here. It says brewed with lime, orange, and lemon peels. I definitely taste the citrus, but I don't taste the upfront lemon flavor like I do with the others.
Sure.
But it is good. I mean, I don't know if I'd pick this up over summer shandy, but if it came in like a multi-pack, I'd still drink this.
Yeah, right on.
So, well, thank you, Josue, for coming on.
Yeah,
It
man,
was.
thank you so much.
At all.
I didn't know what it was going to be like having you on. I mean, we've had very limited interactions at
True.
but
Yeah, and very
honestly,
little minorities on the podcast. So.
Yeah, very few.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
But yeah, you're
No,
always
no.
on. Yeah,
I'm
no.
still outweighed every time by you guys. What you mean?
2-1, baby.
But no,
As it should be, right?
Yep.
Just like 3/5.
Yep.
before this goes too off
It's our
the rails.
country.
No, seriously, we appreciate you coming on. I think I can speak for Kyle too when I say you're always more than welcome to come on.
Absolutely.
This is one of the things we like to do is just talk about opinions on stuff, and
Definitely.
it sounds like you really got yourself grounded in your life, and it looks like you're doing something well with yourself with the job title. It looks like you're kind of representing what a correctional officer should look
Well,
like. So
Looks like you're representing what a man should be doing.
yeah,
man.
yeah,
So that-
better
that's cool.
yet, better yet.
Thank you. My balls just grew bigger.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Hey.
No, but
Having a purpose, man.
yeah.
There
But
you
for
go.
those that don't know, I also started a podcast with two of my buddies,
Yes.
There you
Jerry
go.
and
Shout it
Jesus. We go by the name of Average J's. Average
J's.
J apostrophe S. We're on YouTube. Obviously, there's other Average J's, but we're obviously going to overtake it.
There you go,
There you
man.
go.
Absolutely.
It started off with us three talking at the barbershop. Jesus owns iconic barbershop.
Okay.
And we were there talking about different things, and we were like, you know what, we need to start it, and we did. We talk about mental health. We talk about, different topics that people generally are kind of scared to talk about.
Sure.
So we're just starting off. My next project, though, that I'm going to be starting off with through my business and stuff like that. I can't think of the name right now that I'm going to name it. It's anywhere from like Migos TV, Migos Talks, or something like that. But generally, it's going to be like law enforcement based almost, or first responder based, I should say.
Sure.
Because like through my trainings and stuff like that, I've talked to a lot of people, and I love networking because you get to meet so many people with different experiences,
Right on.
different educations and stuff like that. And some of the stories, dude, badass, dude. Like some of the stories you hear, fucking
Oh,
nuts.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I would have never thought about that. So, I want to start this so that way we can have people from different agencies, different departments, different backgrounds, anywhere from military guys or women, nurses, EMTs, firefighters, correction officers, cops, maybe even probation officers. I don't know. They're a little weird, but
Bring in some of them.
people with different backgrounds, different departments, just to talk about their education, their experiences, and their stories, just so that way people understand a little bit more about what they don't.
That's a great idea.
Cool, man.
So
Yeah. Right on.
stay tuned on that. I got a buddy of mine that I met through work when I was working at the sheriff's office. When he was working still at the sheriff's office, and he left, and I took his position at the hostage negotiator team, which I was really fortunate to be able to join. And he was a badass person in the team, really good guy, man. This guy could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy can talk to anybody, and it's a privilege. And I had big shoes to fit in, and I wear size 13. You know what I mean? So he's a badass guy, and I hope that one day I can be able to be as good as him. But he's actually, I convinced him to be part of my podcast, so he's going to be with me.
There you
Right
go.
So he's going to be my co-host, and hopefully we can make it work. And
Cool.
we'll let you guys know when it's up and running, so you guys can check us out.
Yeah,
Hell
for
yeah,
sure.
man.
That'd be
For
cool
sure.
to hear.
Yeah, sounds good.
Did you want to replug any of your businesses that you
Yeah,
had?
yeah. We
Yeah.
shout those out.
So
And do you? Sorry, before you continue, is it a website or just like Facebook wise?
no, not website yet because I'm broke. So.
Fair enough.
I have a certain way that I would like my website to look, and I just haven't met the right person to kind of help me with that. And I'm pretty sure the person that I need is probably going to be expensive.
Yeah.
But I provide a lot of services and stuff like that, so I got to figure out how to be able to plug and play and allow customers to be able to order off the website without having too many vendors. But I run Migos Firearm Services and Custom in Beloit, Wisconsin. I do have an Instagram, Migos FSC, and the Facebook, Migos Firearm Services and Custom. Check me out on there. All my work is on there. Like I said, I do hats. I clean, build, restore guns. I've done anywhere from, I think, a revolver. What was it? A Smith & Wesson Model 1.5. So this you're talking about like, what is it, like 1700s?
Yeah.
1800s, something like that. I've helped restore, badass guns. And I'm learning as, I'm an amateur gunsmith. I'm teaching myself,
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want it super fucked up and you're okay with maybe a little bit fucked up, just let me know. I'm willing to learn, and that's the thing that I enjoy the most. It's like it's a whole new thing for me. So I love learning as I go. I engrave using a laser, a 30-watt fiber laser. So if you want anything engraved, let me know. I'm more than willing to, try it out. Like I said, I've done anywhere from metals, plastics, acrylic, plastic, woods,
Skin.
and deer antlers.
Yeah.
So check me out. Also check us out on the Average J's podcast on YouTube. It's the only podcast that has Mexicans on it.
Yeah.
There's so many Average J's on there, but when you see Mexicans, that's when you got the right one.
That's the right one.
Yeah, plus 180, right?
Yeah, there was one episode with Joey on there. So
No, I do hope that we can figure it out for you guys. I've talked to Luna. I don't know if Luna's talked to you, but I want to get you guys on some more platforms rather than just YouTube.
yeah,
Because you guys really should expand your horizons. I would say, and it's not that difficult. I can show you very simply how to do it.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Plus, if you're not praising Bill Gates every day, you're gonna get kicked off the YouTube.
Yeah.
Whoa! Shut up!
I just praised him.
Okay, yeah.
Bill Gates.
Yeah,
If
instead
you're
of
not
praise,
praising him,
instead of
means-
praise Jesus, it's praise Bill Gates.
Yeah.
See this
Yeah.
one? Bill Gates.
Yeah, it's the thing is like we're so busy. Like I'm busy with my business and what I do at work. Jesus is business with his, busy with his business and the growth of his business, and Jerry the same thing. And it's like we're three busy guys just trying to make it. So please donate to us so that way we can hire somebody that can help us out. What I mean? If you got extra change in your pocket and you're trying to donate to a good cause, I think it would be a big benefit for us and you.
I think
hire Joey.
well, the other thing too is networking, or I'm sorry, getting your stuff out to different platforms. I mean, I think just based off of our conversation today, I think that it's genuine stuff that I think people should hear. I mean, it's good for people to hear, whether they say they want to or not. I think the kind of stuff that you're talking about, mental health and stuff like that. It's good stuff to hear, and you want that
needs to be mainstream.
Yeah, you want that to
definitely.
get out there.
I would
I mean, so
Definitely, and it's I could just to end it, just so people understand, and hopefully they, throughout all the stories and stuff that I talked about, I mean, I just really want people to understand that mental health is a real thing.
yeah,
Help yourself. You can't help others without helping yourself first.
mm-hmm.
God is real. Understand that your true value matters. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. If you really truly want something better for yourself, for your community, and for your next kin, it has to start with you.
yeah.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
Well, that great way to
Great,
take it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Just shut the episode off. It is done.
So, well,
Thanks for saying that, man. That
Yeah.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could have said that.
no, that's great.
Truer words haven't been said.
That's great.
So,
So, all right.
Thanks,
well,
man.
everyone listening, we'll catch you guys next time.
see you
take it
guys.
easy. Se la lavan.